begins the 221st Commencement exercises for Washington and Jefferson College.
Spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plains. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Good evening. Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape. This is a time when we've been needing to do flexibility and understanding, and it's a time for us to do that now. I'm from First Presbyterian Church, 1793. And W&J College and our church have been longtime partners. Matthew Brown, the first president of Washington College, was simultaneously the first installed pastor of First Presbyterian Church, and later on Matthew Brown became the fifth president of Jefferson College in Canonsburg, thus having served the two colleges that would combine to form Washington and Jefferson College, the college we know today. Matthew Brown Fellowship Group at our church is named for that first pastor-president and is an ongoing symbol of our common mission as men and women from the college, in concert with our church, build bridges of caring with community service organizations throughout our greater Washington community. Please join me in the invocation. Shall we pray? Gracious God, we know you by many names. We call you Yahweh, Elohim, Allah, Adonai, Jesus, Holy Spirit, a higher power, and more. Whatever the names and images, we thank you for your faithfulness to every student, professor, administrator, and employee on this campus. We thank you for overhearing us in times of deep concern and in times of great celebration. We thank you for your openness to hearing Hail Mary prayers thrown toward the heavens in the midst of difficult classroom examinations and challenging times. We thank you for listening to eager prayers from parents and other relatives and friends on behalf of these precious graduates. Holy God, we thank you that each of us has been created in your image and that you continue to love all of us equally and unconditionally without exception. We also celebrate the way that each of us is a unique child of yours. We offer our gratitude for the way that Washington and Jefferson transforms lives and helps us to become better, brighter versions of who you are calling us to be. Throughout this virtual commencement service, we ask you to open our minds and hearts so that we may hear and receive wisdom and inspiration today and for the future. We pray in your name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor Smith. Members of the graduating class of 2020, families and friends, faculty and staff colleagues, welcome to the 221st commencement exercises of Washington and Jefferson College. I thank you for joining us, and I regret that it became necessary to conduct this evening's ceremony in this unprecedented manner. But graduates, I commend you for your many achievements throughout your time with us. You've worked hard, you've learned well, and you've persevered through the challenge of a global pandemic to successfully complete your degrees. It is my hope that in the years since crossing the seal of Old Main and that fall day back in 2016, each of you found this college to be a place of welcome, a caring community where lifelong friendships were formed. I'm confident that through every stage of your life, your appreciation of your years at W&J will only continue to grow. You're now joining the ranks of W&J alumni, a network of thousands who are proud to share a common bond. They will embrace and support you as one of their own, for you will find that love for this college burns bright around the world and across many generations. Your class came to us from 217 high schools across 27 states and from homes as near as Washington County and as far away as Washington State in the United States, and internationally from 17 countries: Bolivia, Bulgaria, Canada, China, Egypt, Greece, India, Ireland, Israel, Japan, Jordan, South Korea, Nigeria, the Republic of South Africa, Syria, Vietnam, and Zambia. The class of 2020 leaves an indelible legacy, and your college is better because you journeyed with us for a while. We are indebted to you for that. We join you in thanking your families for their influence in your lives, for the countless ways that they have supported you through these years, and for the sacrifices that they made to ensure you a superb education. And I know that you're also grateful to your outstanding professors, those who have enriched your lives, and the dedicated staff who have supported and guided you in every area of the college, from coaches and librarians to counselors, custodians, advisors in student life, and all the others too numerous to name. No doubt many of you feel a special sense of gratitude to certain professors or members of our staff whose influence in your life has been decisive. If you didn't have the opportunity to tell them so before we were forced to leave campus so abruptly in March, please be sure to reach out to them and let them know. It's my privilege now to introduce the others here on the platform who are participating in today's ceremony. They are Dr. Keith Gezzi, the chair of our Board of Trustees, Dr. Jeffrey Frick, our Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of the College, Dr. Eva Chatterjee Sutton, our Vice President for Student Life and Dean of Students, Faculty Marshal, Professor Linda Troost, and our commencement speaker, of course, Dr. Mark Tikoczynski, who will be introduced more fully in a few moments. And you've already had the privilege of meeting Dr. Stephen Smith, pastor of First Presbyterian Church, and as he said, a long, long time partner of W&J since the year 1793. There was a time in the distant past when W&J commencements featured speeches from every single graduate. As you watch today, you may appreciate the fact that this year the graduating class is represented by just one outstanding student, chosen by a committee of faculty, staff, and students through a competitive process. Our student speaker for the class of 2020 is Michael Andrew Conroy, one of many graduates who can say that they took full advantage of their college years by not just excelling academically, but also by learning from a wide range of experiences beyond the classroom and even beyond the campus. Michael chose a double major in political science and accounting. He held leadership roles as president of the mock trial team and program co-chair of the Washington Fellows. He also took on the important role of resident assistance, providing guidance and help to his peers. He was a leader off campus as well, especially in scouting, where he served as a program director for a local camp and conducted youth leadership training. I'm proud to say that Michael has now begun his career in Pittsburgh with the Schneider Downs firm as a staff accountant. He's continuing his studies to pursue his CPA credentials, and his longer-term plans include law school, which is not especially surprising since he was recognized as a top regional attorney for 2 consecutive years on the mock trial team. It's my pleasure to introduce your classmate, Michael Conroy, as he culminates his W&J experience with an address to you.
President Knapp, members of the faculty and staff, parents, friends, and family, and of course, fellow graduates. I'd first like to say thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today and to personally congratulate the class of 2020. Our year has been extraordinary, one that we couldn't have imagined when we started our final semester on January 22nd. Can you even remember January at this point? Now, before I begin, I'd like to make you 2 promises. First, you can take out your wristwatches, smartphones, Apple Watches, pocket watches, or other time-keeping doodads. Set them to 6 minutes. And in just 6 minutes, you will get to embrace the sweet relief of not hearing me speak anymore. Second, this speech will not contain that 5-letter, 2-number acronym that has caused us such grief and division. We've heard enough of that, and we deserve a 6-minute break from it all. So in preparing to today's speech, I looked to the resource where all great writing assignments begin. As my grandfather would call it, the Google. I said, Google, tell me, what does commencement mean? And Google delivered. I was told by Ellen DeGeneres, commencement comes from 2 words, common cement. I did not need to use my English minor to figure out that that wasn't 100% accurate. But there is a grain of truth in Ellen's words, because here at W&J, our commencement will be a common cement, represented by our motto, Juncta Juvant. That motto has defined us over the past several years. We've pushed our community forward every step of the way. We have come together to do truly amazing things, such as travel to the farthest reaches of the world, win innumerable championships, and develop perspectives that will forever define who we are as people. And in those good times, we have learned the value of hard work, determination, drive, the will to achieve. But just as important as being there for each other at our best, we've been there for each other at our worsts. We were there for our friends when they failed their first term paper. Dr. Joubert, my apologies, I still do not know what a comma splice is. We were there when they got rejected for the RA position. Justin, you could only keep me away from leading the freshmen for so long. Or when they experienced their first devastating breakup. And I have to say, thank God for late night milkshakes at Monty's. And thankfully, in those moments, we learned the most important lessons of life: compassion, empathy, and community. We had each other's backs then, and forever we will be bonded by that very same motto as we go out into the world together. We could not have forged those bonds without mentors, showing us day in and day out what a community of lifelong learners and compassionate individuals looks like. These mentors are not just the incredible faculty who provided us countless hours of guidance and personalized help, listened to our concerns, both academic and personal, but also our staff, custodians such as Tammy, who greeted everybody in Alex Hall with a warm smile and a hearty hello. Our food service team members, such as Maureen, who even on days that I knew I looked like complete trash, would tell me how nice it was to see me. And Jamie and Roberta from Career Services, who helped show the world the best version of ourselves that we could be. And a special thank you to those who came before us, the alumni and long-gone seniors, who showed us the ropes and welcomed us into this community. Finally, we owe a thanks to our friends and families, the people who sent us survival snack packs during finals, the people at home we called freshman year when we conveniently forgot how to do our laundry, or the people we shared our greatest successes with. Today is called commencement, not concludement. We are not ending our journey, but beginning it. By completing our bachelor's degree here today, we take on an obligation to contribute substantially to the world in which we live. Some of us will better and even save the lives of others by creating and inventing solutions to tomorrow's problems. Some of us will help serve communities who are without the means to help themselves. And still others will create art and music that will bring out the beauty of this world in which we live. These are the heroic and glorious storylines that all W&J graduates are capable of. But many, many more of us will leave this world a better place without receiving public glory or accolades. We will create change in this world, one idea, one outreach, and one kindness at a time. And we are needed now in this world more than ever. As we depart here today to our homes, many of our friends and family will be asking us the very pragmatic elements of this charge. What's next? What are you doing for a job? How are you paying for your student loans? And the most pinnacle question, when the hell are you getting out of my house? And while some of us here today feel like we have it all figured out, we're still, in a sense, very much like our freshman selves. And we would be wise to remember that. We might have a current idea or job or a current goal of what we want to do, but we are still figuring things out. And that's okay. We're going to stumble. We're going to fall. We're going to make mistakes. We may stumble again just as we did 4 years ago, but now we have a bigger family to pick us up, brush us off, and give us that little spit shine to set us back on the path of achieving our goal. Our enlarged family, now filled with the Washington and Jefferson College community, will set us back on that path to making the world a better place. Thank you for the honor to address you today, and congratulations to the class of 2020. We did it.
Good evening, and congratulations, class of 2020. Each year, the members of the senior class are invited to nominate and select one outstanding faculty member and one outstanding staff member of the year as a gesture of gratitude and respect. It is now our tradition that the faculty member chosen for this award will speak at our fall matriculation ceremony. You might say that this speaker is the class of 2020's welcoming address to the class of 2024. Presenting this year's Outstanding Faculty Member of the Year award is Julia Bernesser. Julia is from Pittsburgh, and while at W&J majored in psychology with a minor in gender and women's studies. Julia was a 4-year member of the women's volleyball team, as well as the Student Athletic Advisory Committee. In fact, this past year, Julia served as its president. Julia is currently working as a children, youth, family caseworker in Allegheny County.
When I heard that the class of 2020 voted for Dr. Klitz to receive this year's Outstanding Faculty Member of the Year award, I could not think of someone more deserving. Dr. Klitz has been a psychology professor at W&J since 2001. It is apparent that he puts his heart and soul into both the college and its students. I knew that I wanted to major in psychology when I came to W&J, but I was not sure what type of career path I had ahead. Here at W&J, they allow you to choose an academic advisor that you feel is the best fit for you. I felt anxious going into my sophomore year because I was still uncertain of my path, and I still needed to choose my advisor. Fortunately, I had cognitive psychology that year was introduced to Dr. Klitz. I noticed that he made an effort to go out of his way to get to know us as students as people and to make us feel like we are more than just students to him. I knew that he was then meant to be my academic advisor. College is often the first time that we as students are away from our home and support system. It can be overwhelming as we navigate our new way through a newfound independence. I found that Dr. Klitz was a crucial part of my new support system here at W&J, and I knew that I had his unwavering support, and it seems like my fellow classmates agree with me. As junior year was coming to a close, I was still uncertain as to what I wanted to do once my time at W&J concluded. Dr. Klitz was there to help me uncover what my true passion in life was, working with troubled and at-risk youth. I'm proud to say that I'm currently working for Allegheny County in the Children, Youth, and Families Division. I am proud to be a part of an organization that advocates for family while protecting the young, and I truly would not have that job without Dr. Klitz's guidance the past 4 years. Dr. Klitz has also been the NCAA Faculty Athletics Representative for Washington and Jefferson College since 2015, and he is also the faculty mentor of the women's soccer team. W&J Athletics was a very big part of my life these past 4 years, and Dr. Klitz always made sure to show his support. Whether by attending sporting events for all of his advisees, or checking in whenever he sees you walking around campus to make sure that you're not doing just well in academics, but in sports as well. He made sure he knew that you were someone to talk to about academics, sports, or just life in general, and that is something that I will forever be grateful for. Thank you, Dr. Klitz, for all your guidance and support the past 4 years with my academic career, volleyball career, my time as student athlete advisory committee president, and most of all, for helping me become the person I am today. It is my honor to announce my incredible advisor, Dr. Timothy Klitz, as this year's Outstanding Faculty Member of the Year.
Presenting this year's Outstanding Staff Member of the Year award is Jude Taha. Jude joined W&J from Amman, Jordan, and earned her degree in political science, English, and international studies. Over her 4 years on campus, Jude was involved and held leadership positions in the Black Student Union, Advocates for Sexual Assault Prevention, the Interfaith Leadership Club, Model UN, International Club, Sister to Sister, and with the Wooden Tooth Review. Jude has also been a student staff member in the Office of Residence Life, most recently serving as a community advisor. Jude is planning to work with refugee resettlement and pursuing an advanced degree in criminal intelligence and restorative justice.
Hello, everyone. Today I'm honored to present the Staff Member of the Year Award from the class of 2020. This award is presented annually to a staff member who has gone above and beyond for us during our time on campus. This year's recipient is an alum of W&J himself. He graduated in 2009 and found his way back to W&J in 2014, where he facilitated the launch of the W&J Weekly and the Gateway team. Today, he serves as the Director of Residence Life. This year's recipient is special, not only because of his contributions to the W&J community and how essential they were to our collective experience as a class, but also because he has proven over and over our valued principle of uncommon integrity. Whether it is through endless meetings to ensure your housing situation is secure, programming, or dealing with a pandemic, he has always represented what the W&J community aims to be: caring, kind, and persistent. Personally, the recipient has been a friend, father figure, and mentor altogether when I needed it most. He has answered frantic phone calls from the airport, worked tremendously hard to ensure my safety and comfort during a time where nothing was certain, and welcomed me into his office when I was having a bad day, and has always succeeded in putting a smile on my face without ever expecting anything in return. This year's recipient is someone who embodies selflessness and kindness at all times. He has shaped our experience as a class both through personal experience and behind the scenes, and I'm honored to present this year's award to him. The Staff Member of the Year award goes to Justin Swank.
Congratulations, Dr. Klitz, and Justin, well-deserved recognition. Well, the year was 1824. John Quincy Adams was elected president in a controversial contest that had to be decided by the House of Representatives. Lafayette completed his famous tour of the United States, and the only medical school in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania was at the University of Pennsylvania, which maintained its monopoly on medical education by using its influence to prevent the state legislature from chartering a rival. Despite this formidable obstacle, a group of Philadelphia physicians led by Dr. George McClellan was determined to find a way to circumvent the legislature and start a competing medical program. And as an aside, if Dr. McClellan's name sounds familiar, it may be because his son by the same name was the famously unsuccessful commanding general of the Union Army in the early days of the Civil War. And so the Philadelphia physicians devised a creative plan. They approached Little Jefferson College in Canonsburg with a proposal to establish a new school of medicine under the college's existing charter. No legislative approval would be needed. The college's Board of Trustees embraced the idea and, in fact, established Jefferson Medical School as an academic department of Jefferson College to be located in Philadelphia. Now, I'm guessing some of you had no idea that your alma mater once had its own medical school, but we did. A noteworthy provision of the charter granted by our trustees was a requirement that the new school would admit 10 indigent students each year to receive their medical education at no charge. Jefferson Medical School grew quickly and became the first medical school in the country to operate a clinic for teaching and patient care, creating a model later emulated by all others. By 1838, it was able to receive a state charter of its own to operate as an independent institution. I'm proud to say that in the year 2020, we at Washington and Jefferson College still work closely with the institution we birthed 2 centuries ago. Now called Sidney Kimmel Medical College, it has expanded to become Thomas Jefferson University, a comprehensive research institution that includes Jefferson Health, an extensive regional provider of healthcare services. Our most recent collaborative project was developed under the leadership of today's commencement speaker. The Integrated Program in Human Health is a highly innovative partnership in which outstanding W&J students recommended by our faculty are fast-tracked to begin studies at Jefferson's Medical School after their junior year of college. A unique feature of the program is that their undergraduate majors must be in fields other than the traditional pre-med majors in the natural sciences. I'm delighted that the class of 2020 includes the first students to graduate from W&J after completing year 1 of medical school through this program. This innovation owes much to the vision of Dr. March Tikoczynski, who serves as the Dean of Sidney Kimmel Medical College and as Thomas Jefferson University's first Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Tikoczynski sees our collaboration as a way to develop liberal arts physicians, professionals not only possessing technical knowledge and expertise, but also bringing to medical practice a well-rounded approach to problem solving, a humane perspective, and a greater understanding of the cultural and societal contexts of practice. He was an architect of Jefferson University's 2017 merger with Philadelphia University and now leads a combined academic enterprise that comprises 10 colleges spanning a range of professional training pathways from health and medicine to design, fashion, and architecture. Dr. Tikoczynski holds a series of patents in the fields of molecular and cellular immunology and is a fellow of the National Academy of Inventors. His research has contributed to tremendous advancements in therapies benefiting cancer patients and others. It's no surprise that his achievements have been widely recognized with many prestigious awards nationally and internationally. But what's most important today is that he is a good friend of Washington and Jefferson College. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce you to Dr. Mark Tikoczynski.
Thank you, President Knapp, for that gracious introduction. Being here on the Washington and Jefferson campus at this very moment is truly special. I've always been drawn to places with history. I suspect it has something to do with being the son of immigrants, parents having survived Auschwitz, much of their families and past erased in the Holocaust inferno. Parents uprooted, and so a son subliminally looking for roots. History is roots, something that anchors. And indeed, deep history is one thing the institutions I've been with professionally have in common. My current professional home, Thomas Jefferson University, no exception. Founded as Jefferson Medical College in 1824, as you just heard, it prides itself in a magnificent 2-century legacy of pioneering health education and blazing medical discovery. Literally pages and pages of firsts. But for Jefferson, it's not just legacy, it's legacy plus transformation, an institution relentlessly looking to craft new histories for itself. In my 12 years there, a dizzying growth spurt has given it the largest clinical footprint in the eastern part of the Commonwealth. And on top of that, an out-of-the-box academic merger 3 years ago united our 196-year-old health sciences university with a 136-year-old university known for textiles, fashion, design, and architecture. How's that for creatively melding rich histories and crafting new ones? And what's really special, right here, right now, is that this remarkable institutional history has its origins with you, Washington and Jefferson. George McClellan's Paul Revere ride across the state from Philadelphia to Canonsburg in the early 19th century, embraced with open arms at Jefferson College by visionaries willing to see the future, to author a new historical chapter, to imagine that education could and should be delivered differently. For the first time, medical students would be allowed to touch patients while still students. Your college gave birth to mine, and beautifully, the birthing was around a shared conviction on the primacy of human touch. How appropriate that 2 centuries later, our two institutions decided to reunite, once again to reaffirm the role of humanism in medicine, instantiating McClellan's spirit. W&J class of 2020, as heirs to this rich legacy of seeing the world differently, I trust you'll be receptive to messages about seeing. And I've got 2 for you. See more, see openly. Let's start with see more. The catalog of shipwrecked books was published this past year about Christopher Columbus's son, Hernando. Turns out both father and son were gluttonous information gatherers. While Christopher, the intrepid ocean voyager, gathered information about a new world far across the Atlantic, son Hernando stayed closer to home, but with a gathering exercise no less ambitious. A great librarian, Hernando crisscrossed the European continent, decade upon decade, gathering a breadth of printed materials, books, prints, political pamphlets, guidebooks, posters, musical scores, ballads, pornography, newsletters, any printed material in any language on any subject. Unlike his predecessors and contemporaries, Hernando didn't limit himself to classics. His Noah's Ark of civilization in print constituted the most comprehensive such collection to his day. His information avarice presaged the 21st century information age, accompanied by a 16-volume cross-referenced index, a primitive search engine of sorts. Obsessive information gathering popped up early in our own country's history. Our common namesake, Thomas Jefferson, was a notable information gatherer. As president, he emerged as the nation's bibliophile in chief, selecting most of the books purchased for the newly established Library of Congress. After the library was destroyed during the War of 1812, when the invading British Army used its then 3,000 volumes as kindling to burn the U.S. Capitol, Jefferson stepped forward to reestablish it. 10 heavily laden wagons of nearly 7,000 books from Jefferson's own personal library in Monticello, 50 years in the making, eventually became the greatest library in the world. In the words of biographer Gordon Wood, quote, "He had the most spacious and encyclopedic mind of any of his fellow Americans, including Benjamin Franklin. He was interested in more things and knew more about more things than any other American." This was Thomas Jefferson's ambition for the nation he fathered, wanting all of us to see more for generations to come. Let's leap from 16th century Hernando Columbus and early 19th century Thomas Jefferson to distant future circa 42nd century, to a species of telepathic humanoids, the Ood, that's O-O-D, featured in the long-running British science fiction series Doctor Who. These enigmatic aliens with squid-like tentacles projecting from their lower faces are evolutionarily equipped with 2 brains. First, a forebrain in their heads, and second, an umbilical cord-connected hindbrain they carry in their hands. An Economist article a while back cleverly saw in the OOD a metaphor for us, for humans in the digital age. We too now carry parts of our brains externally in the form of internet-linked smartphones, supercomputers glued to the palms of our hands. And that's not all. The OOD also have a third brain, a planetary brain, via a telepathic connection to a giant OOD brain on their home planet. We humans, too, have a third planetary brain, the World Wide Web, Wi-Fi connected to our handhelds. Our third planetary brain now feeds our almost insatiable appetite for gathering things to see. We can now see it all, Hernando's and Jefferson's libraries magnified trillionfold. But there's more to seeing more. Beyond oceans of information flowing from webs to fingertips, it's as much about how that information is processed. You, class of 2020, will live your lives in the age of machine intelligence, a technology for distilling vast information sources at bewildering speeds in previously unimagined ways. Some, like the cybernetics gurus and exuberant Googleplex computationalists, would have you believe that machine intelligence is said to dwarf, even displace us humans. Don't listen to them. The digital tool can be embraced as friend, not foe. Your future seeing will be the man plus machine, not machine minus man. It is there to extend your vision to see more. A provocative book published last year, titled The True Creator of Everything, offers a deeper perspective on the human brain itself as it confronts the digital. The author, Miguel Nicolelis, speaks with authority as he is a pioneer in the exotic neuroscientific field of brain-machine interfaces. Nicolelis' new book is an ode to the marvels of the human brain, what he calls the creator of everything, and compellingly makes the case that this exquisitely evolved analog plus digital computing neural ensemble is uniquely suited to tackle that which is digitally non-computable. Human cognitive skills like intuition, insight, creativity, problem-solving, generalization. These mental attributes, Nicolelis argues, can neither be reduced to an algorithm formulation nor simulated or mimicked in any digital system. In his elegant words, quote, "The notion that complexity like that exhibited by our brains can be recreated simply by wiring up an extraordinarily large number of efficient electronic elements is not only very far removed from reality, but when examined in depth, has no credible chance of succeeding. Not now, not ever," close quote. Nicolelis sees the exuberant computationalism of the cybernetics devotees as a postmodern myth. Gang, we humans still have a future. At the moment, we find ourselves in the midst of once-in-a-century converging health, economic, and social crises. Even that doesn't preclude seeing more. In fact, crises have a way of creating clearings in the forest that allows one to see even further, opening creative spaces. During the Great Plague of London, starting in 1665, Newton discovered calculus, all while social distancing. Still a student at the University of Cambridge, on the grounds of his family estate, watching apples fall from that tree during the bubonic plague, his creativity erupted in what has been called Newton's annus mirabilis, or years of wonder, even as nearby London was draped in death. Amidst the pandemic came calculus. At Jefferson, we have our own pandemic unleashed Newton. Take our Jefferson Vaccine Center under Dr. Matthias Schnell. Literally as we speak, a remarkable COVID-19 vaccine is in the making. Still under the radar, but a horse I'm personally betting on in the vaccine races. Ingenuity only a human brain can come up with. The Schnell Laboratory saw more by first comprehensively surveying the vaccine development landscape, identifying the rabies virus vaccine as a proven winner, having been administered effectively and safely to hundreds of millions, and then taking the creative leap of piggybacking COVID-19's key immunogenic protein
onto the rabies virus vaccine backbone. Licensed to a world-leading vaccine manufacturer in India, millions of doses of this new vaccine, Coravax we call it, are being scaled as we speak. The press has so far ignored it, but do stay tuned. I too challenged myself to see more as the pandemic unfolded. Imprisoned in my Zoom tomb these past months, I scoured the scientific literature for clues that might explain COVID-19's hyperinflammation and pinpointed an overlooked cellular culprit, the mast cell, that could elegantly explain the bizarre constellation of clinical observations associated with this coronavirus. Out of this Seeing More exercise came a 70-plus page provisional patent application that teaches how our lab's fusion protein pharmaceutical technology, years in the making and originally geared to cancer immunotherapy, can now be redeployed to counter coronavirus inflammatory sequelae. Armed with our unique tri-touch technology for power packing 3 or more distinct functions into a single molecular entity, we are devising supercharged anti-inflammatory biologics. If I'm to talk about the human brain's uniqueness, I figured I better put up or shut up. So we are all positioned to see more, and yet there is more to seeing. We must also see openly. Let me explain, back to sci-fi and OODs. Our third planetary brain does all those great things. It enables free flow of intelligence on a massive scale. It retains accumulated knowledge going back millennia. It creates high-dimension collaborative opportunities, interconnecting myriad imaginations. All true, but this third planetary brain also has a dark side. It channels our thinking, limits what we actually see. The internet universe, while arraying limitless viewpoints, paradoxically locks us into a rigid view. Yes, the initial choice would seem to be ours. We choose a channel to tune into, but from there, the planetary brain kicks in, luring us towards simplified viewpoints. Faced with streaming webs of information intermingled with misinformation and disinformation, our minds almost beg for an easy way out. The telepathic OOD brain complies dutifully with subchannels that cloak alternatives and filter out nuances. The digital master controller goes into hyper-channeling mode. For us OODs, with necks craned over our exterior handheld brains and plugged into the planetary brain, thinking freedom is the casualty. Class of 2020, preserve your thinking freedom and see openly. You're no smarter for all the pixels you process if what you see is confined to images gated through narrow planetary brain channels. Here's another metaphor to hammer this point home. During World War II, Project Pigeon was American behaviorist B.F. Skinner's attempt to develop a pigeon-controlled guided bomb. I kid you not. Trained pigeons housed in the nose of the bomb to act as pilots. 3 lenses mounted in the nose projected an image of the target on a screen. The pigeons, stationed in front of the screen, were trained to recognize the target and by pecking on it, correct any deviation in the bomb's course and keep it on its glide path. Fortunately for pigeons, electronic guidance systems spelled doom for their newly minted job. But it's not just pigeons, it's us. Too often we find ourselves pecking away at the screen, controlled by algorithms. I've always viewed Project Pigeon as a powerful metaphor for the narrow perspective, for being mechanically confined to familiar paths. On park benches or home sofas or office bays, we peck away at limiting screens, tracking our personal glide bombs. Search engines, anticipatory web links, personalized internets, biased blogs, digital swarms. Too often we pigeons peck away mindlessly at screens where sense-making is framed by worldviews of digital controllers and corrupted by cognitive malware. Seeing openly means broadening lines of sight beyond screen perimeters. The digital threat goes yet deeper. More than just selectively channeling what information flows to the brain, digital streams now threaten the brain itself, its very structure and function, its capacity to see openly. In Ood speak, much that is special about the brain in the head is being erased by the second and third brains. Nicole Fitch warns, quote, "I am growing very afraid that by becoming so crazy and reliant on the way digital machines operate, our highly adaptive primate brains are at risk of emulating the way these machines work. That is why I believe there is a concrete possibility that if this trend continues, the true creator of everything, the brain, may progressively decay and morph into some sort of biological digital machine, condemning our entire species to become moderately smart zombies." He continues, "Far from being something out of a bad science fiction movie, our continuous and thorough immersion and total surrender to digital technology in every minute of our conscious life may be corrupting and quickly eroding the basic operation of our brains, their unique reach and range, not to mention their ability to generate all that defines the splendor and distinctiveness of the human condition." Nicole Fitch goes on to coin the term brain nets, multiple brains digitally synchronized so as to propagate abstract constructs like beliefs, culture, knowledge. Brain nets mold emergent social behaviors, a domination of humankind's collective mind. In Ood speak, the much-feared hive mind. My vignettes have run the gamut: Hernando Columbus's and Thomas Jefferson's global information gathering, Newton's calculus, Schnell's Coravax, and my own tri-touch technology, 42nd century Ood brains and B.F. Skinner's pigeon screens, Nicole Fitch's defense of the awesome human brain. Now time to sum it up and tie it all together, so here goes. The digital realm gives us so much more to see and more powerful ways to process what we see, and in doing so unleashes our uniquely human creative potential. Yet at once, it channels our lines of sight and even threatens our very ability to see independently. To counter this digital assault, we must break out of our Ood planetary brain shackles, broaden our lines of sight beyond our pigeon screens, and at once admit complexity into what we see, in the humanistic spirit that is the common legacy of Washington and Jefferson, of Thomas Jefferson University, and now yours. Let me translate this into two discrete parting suggestions. First, see more. Obsessively seek out information, with machine intelligence augmenting your ability to see the unseeable. From a colleague's letter to my lifetime mentor and Nobel laureate Bernard Lown, quote, "Only those who see the invisible can do the impossible." Second, see openly. Don't become automatons glued to networks, mere things within the Internet of Things. Untether from electronic webs. Look beyond handhelds and laptop pigeon screens. Be forewarned at this dawn of Homo Digital that your brains can be dulled into decontextualized zombie minds. Don't let your own intelligence flatten into artificial intelligence. Powered by what you've learned at W&J, live your lives not as manipulated Homo Digitals, but as unfettered Homo sapiens. Treasure the uniquely human spirit. Class of 2020. Thomas Jefferson spoke of generational revolutions. You are living through one now in this third machine age of the internet. You will work and play through the core of the 21st century, the sweet spot of your careers likely to be in 2050, 2060, even 2070, and with growing longevity, likely beyond. Machine intelligence and robotics will drastically reshape your lives, likely several times over. By then, much of what people do today will be done by machines, which means you will be picking up where machines and data streams leave off. That will demand seeing more and seeing openly. Be willing to frame new possibilities, new mindsets, by thinking freely, machine-free. From the lyrics of Queen in The Show Must Go On, quote, "My soul is painted like the wings of butterflies, fairy tales of yesterday will grow but never die. I can fly, my friends. Graduates, head out of Washington and Jefferson and fly. As heirs to a rich legacy of humanities, you are perfectly positioned to go out and see the world. With this honorary degree, which I'll treasure, I now formally join your class's ranks. And so, let's soar together, survey the sweeping landscapes beyond this surreal pandemic moment, and push the frontiers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark, for that very, very thoughtful address. And thank you for your leadership of our valued partner. On important occasions, such as commencement, Washington and Jefferson's Board of Trustees recognizes distinguished individuals whose lives and work exemplify the ideals of our mission. At this time, I invite Dr. Keith Gezzi, Chair of the Board of Trustees, to present a deserving candidate for an honorary degree.
Mr. President, I present to you as candidate for the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, Mark Tikashinsky.
Mark Tikashinsky, you have contributed to scientific research that has not only been vital in treating our health, but has pushed the bounds of what's possible through innovation. What's more, you've chosen the noble pursuit of serving as an educator, acting as a mentor for the scientific innovators of the future. Under your leadership, the Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine at the University of Pennsylvania became the top-ranked NIH-funded department of its kind in the country and featured prominent postgraduate training programs in clinical laboratory diagnostics and transfusion medicines, as well as notable biomedical discoveries, including a immunotherapy technology that is now a key component of new cancer and cell therapy treatments, helping patients every day. You now provide exemplary leadership as the Anthony F. and Gertrude M. De Palma Dean of Sidney Kimmel Medical College and as Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs at Thomas Jefferson University. Under your leadership, the university completed a successful merger with Philadelphia University, creating a national doctoral university with 10 colleges spanning a range of professional fields. You are an enthusiastic steward of a partnership between Thomas Jefferson University and Washington and Jefferson College that has endured for nearly 2 centuries, and you oversaw the establishment of a unique program providing a pathway for W&J students to begin medical school at Sidney Kimmel Medical College after their junior year of undergraduate education. For your pursuit of knowledge and innovation, for your bold and impressive accomplishments as a leader, and for your dedication to the higher education of future scientific innovators, it is with appreciation and admiration that the Board of Trustees of Washington and Jefferson College confer upon you the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Mark Tikashinsky, by the authority vested in me by Washington and Jefferson College and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa, in token of which I present this diploma and cause you to be invested with the hood appropriate to the degree. Congratulations.
And now we will proceed to the awarding of degrees in due course. Your name and the photograph you submitted will appear on the screen as I call your name. Please stay with us until all names are read, at which time the President will officially confer all the degrees presented and invite you to join together in a champagne toast. Abigail L. Adams. Kyle Joseph Beard. Maxwell Box. Mia Natasha Brownfield. Ryan Shea Service. Andrew James Cipriano. Michael Andrew Conroy. Emily Ann DeUlius. Andrew C. Donatelli. Molly J. Doran. Dominic Ines. Lucy C. Elkin. Kristin Erika Ewing. Jacob M. Fabian. Nicole Fitch. Benjamin Lawrence Freedman. Maximillian Ocheaje George. Jessica Nicole Gibson. Sarah Mohsen Isaac. Gillian Noel Kasper. Aaron David Kendrick. Abigail L. Locke. Dia Rose Lusk. Mark Angelo Mandak. Salutatorian Conor Manning. Maura Lee McLay. Victoria Barbara Metz. Nathaniel Edward Moore. Marisa Jade Rosario. Caitlin Marie Shellhammer. Laurel H. Sipe. Jessica Sidney Scoble. Michaela Renee Sloda. Darian Faye Stapleton. Catherine L. Starr. Second Lieutenant Nathaniel Joseph Tang. Jordan Edward Thomas. Sidney M. Travers. Aaron Michael Vigiano. Samantha Jane Wessel. Leanne H. Williams. Valedictorian Alex S. York. Julia Margaret Angadi. Stephen Douglas Barker. Lindsay N. Barnhart. Sarah Emily Baer. Mark Anthony DeVito. Rachel M. Doty, Dylan W. Downs, Trevor E. Eccles, Carolyn N. Fedor, Cheryl Lynn Ferguson, Jonathan Royston Holland, Daniel Nicole Humphreys, Morgan Elizabeth Jakes, Jared Anthony Kelly, Seth D. McCutcheon, Ryan Christopher Mell, Long Thon Nguyen, Aaron Macy Pat, Zoe Pinkoski, Janelle Annette Sensky, Brooke Jacqueline Shuck, Kate Gillum Sullivan, Keaton Mitchell Turney, Anna Michelle Williams, Megan Christina Williams, Rhiannon Lynn Wineland, Maho Yoshino, Sarah Margaret Zimmerman, Jenna Elizabeth Allen, Brianna Marie Arbus, Claire Atherton, Zachary James Baker, Megan M. Barrett, Megan Alexandra Bowman, Elizabeth Grace Boyles, Christian Andrew Buckley, Nathaniel Eric Sipley, Noah Spencer Cohen, Juan Felipa Cuso, Alexis J. Cryer, Courtney R. Crouch, Jonathan Paul DeVito, Alec Christopher Drabish, Joshua Richard Emdy, Joseph Anthony Frangione, Adam J. Hariko, Sarah Jessie Imbarlina, Yi Ping Zhang, Eric Andrew Kumet, Kaylee Marie Long, Christopher Stephen Medea, Nico Anthony Marchitello, Kaylee Ray Marsh, Benjamin Allen Marsico, Jamie Lynn Mastropetro, Second Lieutenant Sarah Allison Motti, Peyton Marie McAnich, Mark Edward Mizikar, Emma Lizette Orshome, Joshua B. Palma, Troy Landon Palmer, Zachary David Plateau, Nicholas Michael Podlagar, Caitlin Prevenslick, John K. Shook, Taylor E. Smido, Ashton Kylie Sparrow, Samantha Diane Stengel, Marissa X. Sykes, Jude Samer Subitaha, Abigail Dawn Buick, Sean Michael Walbelich, Samira Wendell, Callie Elizabeth Yowler, Abigail Rose Abraham, Grace N. Abror, Jacob Michael Adams, Paige Kathleen Adams, Azat Alafandi, Alexander R. Albright, Adam Charles Alexander, Joshua Taylor Altman, Spencer Thomas Anderson, Benjamin Douglas Andreski, Zia Noel Angel, Haley Shea Ankeny, Jade Analdo, Amanda Jean Ansel, Thomas H. Anton, Joshua R. Armstrong, Justin A. Barrell, Alec James Ballard, Brandon Barnes, Jamie May Barton, Patrick G. Beebe, Matthew Thomas Beneke, Megan Elizabeth Berard, Ryan James Burback, Hayden P. Burgat, Kevin Jack Bergen, Frankie Bernard, Richard Ezekiel Berner, Julia Page Bernicer, Patrick Shane Blackwell, Kayla Marie Boulas, Mark Stephen Bowers, Madison Ann Bowser, Evan M. Brown, Ashley Elizabeth Brecken, Shane Tyler Burkhart, Michael Christopher Burry, Julie Ann Bush, Emily R. Byers, Jasmine Victoria Campuzano, Nicholas Anthony Carr, Sophia N. Carrasco, Leslie Carson, Charles Joseph Chaffray, Frederick Charles Clark, Samuel Michael Clark, Patrick Lewis Corwin, Mackenzie A. Coughlin, Ashley S. Cowan, Morgan Marie Coyle, Robert C. Craig, Anthony Raymond D'Amico, Joseph James Danzix, Zung Tian Dang, Jacob Howard Dar, Richard Giovanni Del Prado, Ryan Beeman DeMaio, Mary Grace Depp, Sarah Elise Edwards, Jansen Robert Eichenlaub, Abigail Ray Elias, Gabriella Fadul, Ashlyn Elizabeth Faulkner, Bartolomeo Ferrara, Courtney Nicole Finney, Marissa Lynn Fursack, Cecilia C. Fitzgerald, Machen A. Flowers, Taylor Margaret Forsyth, Sarah Nicole Franco, Cameron Sienna Frawley, Rachel A. Fromm, Gracie J. Frost, Kristin Nicole Fuertes, Julia A. Galbraith, Mahik Jagrath Gandhi, Brandon Geddes, Ian M. Geister, George Emery Gilman, Lauren M. Griswold, Nicholas Joseph Gershio, Chad Michael Gerdish, Dylan Gwynn, Taylor Rayanne Hare, Caton Ashley Hall, Diamond Dejanay Hamilton, Jur Han, Evan Robert Hainan, Maxwell R. Hartman, Kaylee Janice Haverda, Sierra Noel Hagedorn, Patrick Brennan Heidecker, Michael John Heinel, Joshua M. Helbley, Weston Thomas Henley, Brockman Joseph Herzig, Austin Homorowski, Carly Joya Hopkin, Alexandra H. House, River S. Eisenhower, Aaron David Iwinski, Emily Lynn Jacko, Tanner P. Jackson, Alexandra Elaine Jacobo, Adam Jaworski, Carson M. Jimenez, Yun Ju Zhang, Matthew Alfonso Charles Canan, Rohit Kartan, Caitlin Marie Kearney, Isaiah Douglas James Keller, Malik Lawrence Kelson, Naveen Khalil, Hyun J. Kim, Alia Alexis Cowell, Nolan Robert Kosh, Madison McLean Kroll, Hannah R. Lacey, Brooke Elizabeth Lapia, Ray Alexa La Rochelle, Alexandra Grace Leisure, Joseph Edmund Leach, Nicolas Lagar, Jesse M. L. Lesko, Samuel H. Lex, Shia Yang Zeev Lee, Bin-Yu Frank Lee, Haley Nicole Maglin, Chloe Skuye Majari, Gianni Francis Mangino, Chandler R. Martini, Alessandro Francesco Martin, Terrence Minor Martin, Andrea Martinez, Gia Martucci, Hamza Victor Massaquoi, Anosh Martin Muti, Segan Houston Miller McBride, Colin Michael McLean, Gillian Joan McElhaney, Margaret Ann McQuaid, Stephen Joseph Melbaum, Brianna Elizabeth Meyer, Richard Anthony Meza, Jacob Mikesell, Lauren Page Miller, Alexis Olivia Miller, Bailey Samuel Miller, Kara Nicole Miller, Alexander Robert Miller, Wandale Sizashile Mkube, Daniel Mochin, Evan Morschbacher, Noah R. Morales, Timothy Ezra Moyer, Tasha Changu Wankalando, Katrine Nalbatova, Adam Thomas Napotnik, Brandon James Newman, Kurt Brennan Nicholas, Mallory Marie O'Brien, Emmanuel A. Ofori-Mensah, Gary James Olson, Vincent Orico, Ryan F. Pallone, Vincent A. Palm, Monica Hewan Park, Dana Parker, Zachary Paul Parr, Madison Lee Partington, Christian L. Payne, Julia Ann Plazinski, Anthony Popek, Jordan Marie Porzio, Benjamin Nicholas Preolo, Gavin Pritchard, Tyler Rainier, Alexander James Richards, Janaea A. Richardson, Matthew T. Rowe, Zachary Joseph Russell, Laura Catherine Ryder, Colin Randall Sappenfield, Lawrence Zachary Schrott, Mason M. Sukriti, Rihanna Marie Sievman, Albert Isaiah Shackelford, Nathaniel L. Schaefer, Dylan Leslie Shepard, Frances Isabel Sinclair. Kelsey Michelle Sider. Alyssa Joy Skrinovich. Troy Daniel Smith. Jade Kylie Smith. Theodore Arthur Soames. Nicholas James Spihar. Somia Srinivasan. Brittany Ann Elizabeth Staley. Sean M. Stinelli. Brianna C. Sutherland. Kelsey Morgan Teeter. Kyle Teeter. Jordan Templeton Harris. John Charles Teslavich. Nicholas O. Thomas. Thomas Richard Thompson. Abigail Dorothy Tolbert. Chad Michael Tonks. Olivia E. Tronner. Haley E. Treelor. Erika Lynn Trinetti. William Deshawn Tucker. Alar Daniel Velasco. Carolina Velasco. Logan Marie Vucinich. Jared James Walker. Sarah Anna Marie Walls. Dominic Lewis Walter. Benjamin Michael Ward. Sydney J. Wargen. Savannah L. Warner. Kara E. Waters. Virginia Lee Weber. John Thomas Weldon. Donald P. West. Jordan Michael West. Taylor Nicole West. Caitlin Sophia White. China L. Wilcox. Quint Wiles. Michael Niger Williams. Michelle K. Yamamori. Inghong Henry Yan. Cody Allen Yoder. Sammy K. Zimmo. Mr. President, it is my pleasure to present to you and to the community the class of 2020 candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
By the authority vested in me by Washington and Jefferson College and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I confer upon all of you the degree Bachelor of Arts in course with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. Graduates, let me again congratulate you and express my confidence that you are fully prepared to lead in a world where W&J's values of uncommon integrity and responsible citizenship have never been more needed. Now, as you go your separate ways, remember that wherever life may take you, there will always be a special place nestled in the hills of southwest Pennsylvania, a place you can call your home and where we will be cheering you on. Come home often. Keep us informed of your progress. And above all, know that our motto is forever true, even when we are apart. Together we thrive. We will conclude with our benediction and the singing of the alma mater, after which I invite you to remain with us as we fill our commemorative champagne glasses and together with your classmates, lift one final toast to the class of 2020. Reverend Smith.
Using words from two of our earlier speakers, I charge you to leave this world a better place without the need for receiving public glory, and encourage you to create change, one idea, one outreach, one kindness at a time. Shall we pray? Gracious God, we give you thanks for the transformations that have taken place so that these graduates become and are becoming the people that you call them to be. As seniors slip out of this college and slide into new chapters in their lives, guide them in what comes next. Give them wisdom, insight, and discernment as they move beyond these invaluable, transformational college years. Whether they are moving on to new classrooms, new jobs, or toward unknown futures that have yet to emerge, grant them courage, confidence, strength, and hope for their journeys. Gracious God, help us to see more, to see the digital and beyond, and to think openly. May we see the invisible so that we may do the impossible. And as we head back toward homes, which may include Zoom tombs, we pray that you will help us to do so as unfettered Homo sapiens. All of these things we pray in your holy name. Amen.
My friends, you are now proud W&J alumni. At this moment, in an ordinary commencement ceremony, we would begin our recessional to Old Main, where each of you would cross the college seal, signifying the completion of your journey with us. Though that is not possible today, I assure you, we will bring you back together again as soon as it is possible to do so for a grand in-person celebration, including the ceremonial crossing of the seal. Now I invite you all to lift your commemorative champagne glasses as we toast your success and the bright future that awaits you. Class of 2020, may you always look forward with optimism and backward without regret. Juncta Juvan.
This concludes the 221st commencement exercises of Washington and Jefferson College.